What is up, my Lorcana Goons, and welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. It's November 22nd. You're watching the Friday Weekly Market Watch, where Zach Stone and I fill you in on Lorcana news, meta trends, and card prices. We are getting very close to Black Friday, which is how we celebrate here on the West Side with some deals after Thanksgiving. And check this out, Target has been talking about this bundle product that you can get, and you can even save money on it on Black Friday. We were looking at this. It comes with, it looks like it's the gift set because it comes with 4 packs, but it also comes with 2 different starter decks, and those starter decks also come with a pack. And at first I thought this was just a rumor, so I didn't talk about it on Monday, but somebody did post on Facebook. Shout out this person for posting that their Target actually has them right here in Durham, North Carolina is what it's looking like. And they're selling for almost $60, but they are going to be on sale during the Black Friday weekend apparently. So that's pretty cool if you're a first chapter enthusiast like myself, and you've been kind of trying to keep up with whether or not the first chapter is going to get restocked or reprinted, etc. This looks like a restock potentially. Zach, how do you feel about more first chapter on the streets?
Yeah, this is technically a whole different product with, carrying the first chapter set inside of it. We haven't seen anything like this because this includes 2 starter decks and 4 packs. And you guys know those starter decks come with a pack themselves. So there's 6 packs total, which this is definitely going to affect the secondary market. We're going to see prices of the sealed packs start to kind of fluctuate, going down and up. More and more people are going to be buying these to resell them, of course. But this is interesting to see. I think with the potential restock of the singles this could provide too is a very good reason why some of the first chapter cards that we'll be going over later are the prices of what they are. But Kevin, what is some news you have for our goons today?
We have some updated pricing on some cards. Maui Half Shark over here going to be selling for $31 as it makes its way as the most expensive legendary from the Azurite C set. This set 6 of Lorcana. Maui Half Shark here. Lowest verified is going to be Mr. Squirtles is cool. $31. Not $35 yet, but more than 30. Win Condition Games has it at $32.50, shipping included. And cold foil Mauis are going to still be at around $40 to $45. They're picking up though from 43 Mystify Games right here, lowest verified, all the way to 47, the third listing by Marzician TCG. So they're going up past $45 potentially. And who knows, maybe they might even see a higher demand as the Moana 2 movie comes out in theaters very soon, which I'm pretty excited for. But I'm even more excited about the meta that's been evolving as we've had these cross-continental Pixelborn tournaments that have been going on this week, Zach. I'm sure you've seen them, though actually I know you have because we did a video on covering the deck lists yesterday, so go check that out. But yeah, a lot of big name players playing a lot of different decks, so kind of influencing some of the pricing. Simba Pride Protector still going to keep its $20 value, which is not bad if you're opening the packs of Azurite Sea today. TCG Southside here, $19, lowest verified. And then after that, Hourglass Shop is $20.40, shipping included. Cold foils for the Simba are going to be less than $40. They did come down a little bit. Lowest non-verified is Trading Collectible, $31 basically, shipping included. And they got 3 of them for you for your cold foil Simbas. And after that, they stick around that price for a while. Lowest verified is Cup Cow Collectibles, and there's a lot of other listings before that one at that $30 range for your cold foil Simbas. So I expect them to kind of get a little bit more competitive and possibly keep going down. Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit, kind of going down in price. This is still keeping a decent price of more than $15. Melbourne Trading, $15.99. After that, Turtles Tavern, $16.25. And they kind of have been selling for around $15. No longer in that $20-ish range. Cold foil Oswald's all are still looking pretty cheap. Wow, even cheaper than last Monday when we looked at them. On Monday, they were like $21, $22, and they've come down to $18. Johnny B Cards Comics. And I feel like $18 for a cold foil Oswald when the non-foils are going to be very close to that price. $16 is a little wild, right? Like, guys, just just spend $2 more for the shiny Oswald. They look so much nicer too at that point. What do you think, Zach?
Well, that's a 1000% true. When it comes to cold foil prices, if it's less than double, then that's can be a consideration. We haven't seen that trend stay as true for like the legendary cold foils. However, some of the rares, uncommons, and commons can even like triple, quadruple, or even like 5x their prices from the original price point. So this is definitely something to consider. However, this is not the highest rarity of Oswald. We have the D23 promos. So if you're considering going maxing out, those copies will cost you over $100.
Next up, we have Genie Wish Fulfilled. This is probably the card you want to be pulling from your Azurite Sea boxes, though. This card is more expensive than a lot of the legendaries in the set, especially the legendary Genie, right? Lowest verified today is now $12.99 by Charlie Lorcana. Lowest verified. Shout out you. After that, Traders Kingdom has four of them for you. They're going to be $13.50 each with $1 extra shipping. This is like a $12 to $13 rare now, Zach. That is wild. Cold foils, there's only 7 left. Captain CCG has them for $19 with $2 shipping, so it's going to be around $20+ for your cold foil genies. This card is really good. I feel like this card makes the purple strategy a lot more competitive, especially in a Diablo meta. Being able to play this on turn 4 when your opponent plays a Diablo on turn 3, even if they shifted Diablo, you don't even care that you gave them an extra card with this draw ability because you're just happy to have an out to the Diablo in the deck, honestly. And if you're not even using it for a Diablo album, this guy just quests for 2. And it really does put your deck building into perspective because you have to start respecting evasive characters with high willpower like this Genie right here, because not a lot of cards can out this. Yeah, there's Brawl, yeah, there's Along Came Zeus, but you literally have to have that card. And if you're playing multiple Genies in the deck, your opponent better have multiple outs to it, right? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about Genie right now, Zach? Because this card is like, this is like the top card right now. Are people asking you for it this week?
Oh, yeah, I'm completely sold out. I've sold prices. I sold this card at prices of like $6, $8, $10, and we're still seeing an increase in price. Cold foils might be the move at this point in time, with prices kind of all over the place. Not enough sellers have 4 copies in one shoot. I would go after those cold foils. And again, guys, think about consider your area and your local game store and your community, and how often, if you're having people chase the cold foils and are after them, like the collectors or the flexers, right? We got Baymax Armored Companion today at $11.23, the lowest verified from Elysium Video Games. So this card also has a alternative art printing coming for those that qualify for Worlds. That is right. We did get a reveal of those prize cards. Make sure to check them out. But cold foils, if you're looking to just go that route, only going to cost you $15.49. This card did see some play in a deck list in the LCCC tournament. And I don't know if we saw it actually being played that match, but I like the idea of where the deck is. And this card definitely lets you get some reach. Kevin, I know you love Big Hero 6. Talk about your boy.
Yes, I am a big Hero 6 enthusiast. At first, wasn't a big fan of this card in terms of like meta play, but I think adding it to an aggressive deck, like a blue-yellow aggressive deck, it can have some capabilities. So shout out Theo Time for throwing it in his deck. It was very cool. If you want to see that deck list, like I said, go watch that video. But I also do want to add, Zach, if you don't qualify for Worlds by playing the national tournament, I do believe there's confirmation that these are going to be the alternate art promos are going to be used for side events for that event, but non-foil versions, the same way we have the non-foil Rapunzel and the non-foil Cindy. So you are going to be able to acquire a non-foil alt art, full art version of Baymax Armored Companion with Cusco. Hopefully I'm not wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure like I saw the confirmation somewhere in the Lorcana space. But that's going to be really exciting. Can't wait for that. But I am really excited to get that invite to Worlds. That's what I want. I want the foil version. But Lilo Escape Artist, this is going to be selling for $8 still. I like that this card has been keeping its price. Wanted to talk about some nice pulls from Azurite Sea. $15 lowest verified, basically for the cold foil by Redbeard Card Shop. $14.25 with $2. After that goes to $16 with an extra dollar shipping by lowest verified by Lorcana Addict. So if you want cold foil Lilos, they're going to be about $15, $16. Calhoun the Goon has been making big waves in not only the tournament space, but in a lot of those decks we were talking about. Check this out though. These rares are selling for dang near $9 now. No longer in that $5, $6 range. These have just been going up and up. Almost $10. Sunshine Games has them for $8.50. Shipping included. They have 6 of them ready for you. Shout out you for them deals. It's them deals that we love to see. Sunshine Games has them for you right there. Illustrious CNG has them for $9 with they have 2 of them for you. Shipping included right there. So it's almost a $9 rare for the non-foil. And the cold foils are going to be just about $4 or $5 more. Just like Zach was saying, maybe consider getting the cold foils because, we're going to see more and more and more Azurite Sea released into the streets as the big box retail date hits this week. And that means there's going to be more uncommons. And like I've said before, cold foils are really where it's at. They're a lot harder to pull. So only paying about $5 more for a cold foil Calhoun the Goon might be a little bit better. 1330 by Constellation TCG right there for your cold foil version of Calhoun. Alice Savvy Sailor, I feel like, has been picking up some interest in players recently. Top deck keep is the lowest verified, 156 with a little bit of shipping, about 127. So close to $3 for that super rare, not too bad. And the cold foils are selling for almost $10. We have the lowest verified for 10.95 by Moodang. Wow, shout out Moodang. That's pretty awesome. Moodang over here selling cards on TCG Player, Lorcana cards specifically. Wasn't I just talking about Moodang, Zach? Non-verifieds have her for $9 with $1.25 for your cold foil Alice Savvy Sailor, which I think is a good card. A decent card, has potential. Only $10 for the cold foil Go Tamago. This card comes in the starter deck, and this non-foil rare sells for $5+. Jav Comics has the lowest verified for 271 with 330 shipping, more than $5 right there. Traders Kingdom has 3 of them for you. Non-verified 372 with an extra $1.27 shipping if you want to pick up some Go Tamagos. And these do come in the starter deck, Zach. You didn't mention that, right? But it doesn't seem like I can find any cold foils on TCG Player right now. I feel like,
No, they might be sold out.
oh,
So
there's one.
it's
There's
okay.
one now. There we go. I just updated it, and there's
Okay,
one. And look at the price.
let's see if
Oh,
we
oh,
have confirmed sales at $15.
oh, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there we
that
go.
is
Sorry.
something to think about. I actually want to go ahead and make this a point, right?
Wow.
That is a card that comes in the starter deck.
Yes.
I'm selling those starter decks at $15.
Yes.
The card pays for itself, and then you have a pack for free. Guys, get your cold foil Go Tamagos from the starter deck. Please do
Yes.
yourself that favor for right now.
I think
This card
I think even buying them at $10 is a little too much, right? Because like you just buy the starter deck for 15 and you get a pack in the starter deck. That's the pack is $6 MSRP.
And that still pays. Well, that on average will still pay for itself. So please, guys, really think about where your cards are in your local game stores. I mean, come on, consider buying the starter decks on TCG Player itself.
Yeah, it just makes more sense. You get the pack, you get the other cards in the starter deck too, which are not bad. Like there's some just random, like maybe staples that you might use, like Honey Lemon or Heffalumps and Woozles. All right, next up we have Diablo, the Obedient Raven, another great cold foil from this set, selling for $10 today. Super Games Inc. has them for $9.97, shipping included, and we have recent sales for $8.99, $10, $9.99. So this is confidently a $10 cold foil up there with Sale, the Azurite Sea. Lowest non-verified today is $6.71 with $1 shipping. After that, Hourglass Shop has it for $8.26, and then Top Deck Keep has it for $8.30. They have 3 of them for you, so a little bit less than $10 now. They were definitely selling for 10 last week, so they've come down a couple bucks, but still. Cold foils ridiculously hard to pull, so it does not surprise me why that card is like more than $5-10. Same thing with Pluto Guard Dog. This is an uncommon that's very popular in Amber Steel right now, and the cold foils are just hard to pull. Wow, there's only 4 listings left for this cold foil Pluto. Lowest verified is $8.49 by Farm TCG. Lowest non-verified is $4.99, and then Super Games Inc. has the highest for $10, and this is the 4th listing. And people have been buying them for close to that price: $7.99, $6, $7.25, $5 is what they were selling for yesterday. So if you missed out on the $5 cold foil Plutos, you're gonna have to wait till they come down again, because these are like $7 now. And I'm really hoping that the person that I bought mine from, like in the opening week of Azurite Sea, sends them, because I bought some for like $3 in the first weekend, because I was like, oh yeah, this card is great. I definitely enjoy this card. Same thing with the Gantu. Gantu's been going up just a little bit in price. These were selling for like, the 30 the 40 cents rares at one point, and I feel like now people are starting to realize maybe you can play this in some decks. Lowest verified is $1 with 127 shipping by Collector's Quest, and Play to Win Games has one for $1.50, and then you can buy 2 of them from them. Shipping is $1.50 more, so almost $2 to $3 for this rare. Cold foils are still pretty cheap. We have a lowest near mint for $4 with $1.27 shipping by Hourglass Shop for your Gantus. But now I want to talk about some non-foils that have been kind of doing some numbers recently. We have some recent sales in Kita, the Protector of Atlantis, going up. These are now $6 to $7 by Enchanted Card Co. I feel like people are starting to pick this back up in some Amber Steel decks, even in Amber Emerald, and the cold foils are really cheap for this card. Less than $10. 927 by 4 Horseman for your Kita, Protector of Atlantis. We also have Daisy Duck kind of picking up in price a little bit. Aggro decks and Amber Steel decks are popping off right now. Cafe Gaming has them for $6.75 with an extra shipping cost of 75 cents. Then Envoy Gaming has them for $7.50, shipping included. So it's about a $7 super rare now. Cold foils are still looking like they're going to be $15, going up to that $15 mark. They were less than $13 in the late October, and now we're gonna see them for $14. Collector Store has them $13.91, shipping included. Doc the Bold Knight. I feel like every like really good deck right now is playing Doc, and it's showing in these numbers, man. These are now $5 rares. Those are verified as Pro Play Games, $3.50 with $1.27 shipping. After that, CBDY cards $4.25 with $1.27 shipping. And lastly, we looked at these cold foils. They were $15, and they're still $15 for the cold foil. Shazes has us for 3 of them right there, $14.20 each. You can get them all from one seller. Shout out Shazes for that. Zach, do you agree with me that like every good deck is playing Doc right now?
There are so many decks that can take advantage of this card in so many different ways. I'm looking at the Amethyst Steel deck the most because it has the bounce cards like Befuddle, or if you decide to play Snake or Fox, you can return this to your hand and replay them again. This is also a Knight, so the Seven Dwarves Mine location does get to do 2 damage when you're moving it to this location. And this card does see a lot more play, I think, going forward. It is one of the strongest draw cards I think that we have, being so cheap. It is balanced being an uninkable with very like lower stats, but the drawback is definitely not existent when you can just draw 2 for free. Another card that I think is really good on turn 2 is Mr. Smee. This is a 3/3 inkable with 2 lore, and we have seen prices for an uncommon go as high as $2 to $3, but Mr. Smee might be the one up next. It is $1.19 from ARG Circuit Series. After that, you have multiple sellers ranging from $1.28 and as high as $1.45, but you still can't buy more than one until you get $1.60. Cold foils are on the rise. Card Cracks got you for $7.49. And again, you're not able to buy 4 from one seller until you pay about $8. So this card is pretty much an auto include 4 of in Amber Steel decks. It also is seeing more play too. We have pirate themes coming in Azurite Sea. I mean, guys, get your cold foils.
Yeah, especially with all the pirate hype right now. Another great card I think that's doing wonders in a lot of decks is Goofy Super Goof. These have been trending upward too. The non-foils are now $1 at least. We have 99 cents listings with an extra $1.27 shipping cost, which is cool to see. And the cold foils are also going up a little bit. You want to check out these cold foil Super Goofs, check that out, Zach. From $2.50 to $4 to $5. Lowest non-verified is $4 with $1.27 shipping by New Zing Emporium. After that, Rising Tide Games $3.70 with an extra shipping cost for your Goofy Super Goofs. I like this card. Very good in a lot of the Ruby Amethyst aggressive decks, and even maybe the the Ruby aggressive decks. If you're playing like Ruby Pirates or something, shout out the Blessing. Or if you're playing like Ruby Amber, I think Super Goof has a lot of use case this format. And I was a Super Goof hater, but now I think we're in the Super Goof meta. Peter Pan, Shadow Finder, this cold foil being a very good out to Diablo and being used heavily in Amethyst strategies is going up in price. Look at this, early November, about $1.50, and now they're going to be almost $3 before the shipping cost. So TPC Jax has them for $3 and $1.27 shipping, almost $5 for your cold foil Peter Pan Shadow Finder. Brawl finally going up in price. I feel like it's getting the respect it deserves as like the best Diablo out in the game, and it also stops Genie, by the way. So Brawl just gets better every format. I love that. Cold foils are going to be $2.72 with $1.27 shipping, and then it sticks around that $3 price with a little bit of extra shipping costs. Some cards that have been going down in price: Fishbone Quill. These are now going to be $6, and these were like closer to $10 at one point. Now we have them for $6 with $1 shipping, or $7.74 by Pack Smashers with shipping included. We saw both Sailor and Dean Confirm, some of the best red-blue players in the game, piloting their red-blue decks in this continental tournament without Fishbone Quill. So take that for what you will. I think it's still a great card, though, in a lot of other strategies. And there's only a couple listings for the cold foil, 19 listings. Lowest verified is still $25 because it is a first chapter card. Some other first chapter cards going out in price are Maleficent Monstrous Dragon. Cafe Gaming has them for $17 now with 75 cents shipping. That's kind of wild. They used to be closer to 20 bucks. Cold foils, though, still sticking around a good price. We have a cold foil listing for $79 with some extra shipping costs. Lowest verified by graded TCG. After that, though, it jumps to $90 by Cafe Gaming. So there's a couple here that are listed for 80. Some non-verified sellers have even 4 of them ready for you to go right there if you want to trust the non-verifieds for the cold foil Maleficents. The Queen's Castle, really cheap today. Look at these, Zackstone. These are about $5 by verified sellers even. Tiny TCG Shop has them for $5.80, and they stick around that $5 to $6 range, which I think is really cheap for an amazing card. I think this is a card that's pretty much mandatory in a lot of Amethyst decks, and cold foils are going to be as low as $13.65, which honestly I thought they'd be cheaper. Like, they're still sticking around close to $15. I'm pretty impressed actually by the Queen's Castle for that hourglass shot, and once again proving that cold foils tend to maintain their price, right?
100%. I am a cold foil enthusiast, as you may call it. However, there are plenty of people, and shout outs to anyone that does come to Frank and Son's Collectible Show to purchase cards from me. I have a ton of foils. I'm getting all of them organized, and please let me know if you're looking to complete your master sets. There's something that we can do to definitely make you happy today. But yes, that Queen's Castle card does come in and out of Ruby Ham decks from all over different metas, but we're looking at Kendall Burdett's most recent list that still plays 4, and you're looking at the burn decks that are also including 4 copies of Library and 4 copies of the Queen's Castle. The card Friend Like Me was something that we saw kind of spike. I remember talks about this card in Basel when it was announced, and now we're seeing a crash because this card I know had sales for about like $5 to $6, and now we're seeing the card kind of come back down to reality. More often than not, this is kind of what happens in Lorcana, is that there's hype, and the hype usually drives the reasonings and the prices. So you have to really consider like what's hype and what's not, because
Mm-hmm.
the card Friend Like Me doesn't see a lot of play and hasn't seen a lot of play, but we've always considered this card to be pretty decent. If you have that Mufasa, a cost uninkable in play, and get to play Friend Like Me, then you're basically ramping like extra cards for the next turn or for the same turn, and you can play all that ink again. So there's some consideration.
And that's how we make those videos with the title, "Don't Fall for the Hype," because if you look now, nobody's playing this card in the meta scene, and it's such a cheesy combo. So I tend to just ignore anything hyped up like that, or we at least talk about it on the Market Watch. So that's something to take into consideration for the next upcoming formats. Rapunzel Gifted with Healing. This is a first chapter non-foil, selling now for $40, which is pretty decent because they usually stick around $45 to $50 for this non-foil. So that's one that I'm considering because I have no play sets of those. Cold foils are still $70. They've always stuck around this $70 range. Lay Valley Cards has them for $70.20. They have 2 of them for you right there. That's shipping included. Beast Tragic Hero now selling for $35. Not too bad if you want to pick up some staples for your steel decks maybe. Cafe Gaming, $35.24. They have 3 of them ready for you for that $35 price, and that's not too bad either. Let's check out the cold foils. These have been coming down too in price. These were definitely more than $70, 75-ish, almost 80 at one point. Now you can get them for $63.71 by Kings Court, Massachusetts, I believe, right? And then after that, Card Curator has it for $62.72. So a little bit close to $60. They have been coming down in price, not too much though, not too drastically. But you can always get the non-foils for a little bit cheaper. Some of the Azurite Sea Enchanted rares have been coming down in price too. We did see some sales for this Wreck-It Ralph around $140, and now they're going to be like $100, like flat on the dot, 108 actually, with 96 cents if you want to buy them online. LLC Trinity Games right here for your Wreck-It Ralph Enchanted from Azurite Sea. That's the lowest listing. Baymax Personal Health Companion selling for around 124 today. If you'd like to purchase one, around 138 is the recent comp. But yeah, a lot of people are listing these now, so I do think these are still going to keep coming down. The Basil Disguised Detective Enchanted has been coming down as well. Lowest verified is now $100 or 110 by ENT Collectibles for this Enchanted. So it feels like the Tiana is still the most expensive one. You can pull out around 140. We could be immortals. This one's just been crashing down because this one was selling for more than $100 confidently for a while, and now you can find them for $85. The low was verified by JDHT Cards. And as a Big Hero 6 fan, I'm going to wait till this comes down a lot because I know, because no one really plays this card either, but the art is beautiful. I like it. So I definitely want it. Yzma, Conniving Chemist, this one's selling for $80. They were listed for around 100 and 150-ish, and people were buying them. And it's a pretty good card too, so maybe you want to consider getting it now before it becomes like a meta staple, because I think it's a pretty good card. $80 by a Hidden Fortress, lowest verified. Zach, are any are any of these enchanted cards that you're keeping or looking forward to?
I don't necessarily have any attachments to any of them in particular. I think that there are still more cards or more prices that will continue to fall as more of the release comes out for the big box stores. We're going to have more product and more singles being out in the market. So please be mindful that unless you have some tournaments that you're looking to play within the next week or so, that you can hold off on getting some of these cards. And if you're collecting, you can always try to wait until cards are within your budget of what you're willing to pay. I think that's something to really, really consider right now. We are going into the continental season, so more of a demand for cards will happen as these tournaments get closer. But for right now, there's still room for it to go down.
And you were saying that you think Sugar Rush Speedway is still going to go down, right? Right now it's at $70, lowest verified by a Hidden Fortress. I had seen it at 120. I thought that was a low price, and now it's at 70. I still think that's a low price. And we were talking about whether or not this deck is a real deck, the red-yellow deck that can play locations. And maybe it is a meta deck right now, maybe it's not. But in general, I feel like this card eventually will be part of that like super meta strategy. So I'm curious to see when this is going to keep dropping down, and if it ever hits a certain price, maybe I'll cop some myself, right? First chapter booster boxes selling this week. We have some lowest verified listings for 300. Again, 299 is the lowest verified by Empire Game Sensors, but they only have 2 of them for you. After that, Hex and Company has 10 of them listed at 312. Recent sales have been around 299, 315, a little bit less than 320. So still trying to see if they're gonna end up not printing more first chapter, but but with the looks of it of this Target release, it looks like there's still a lot more first chapter to release into the wild. So let us know down below, what do you think? Is that a reprint? Is that a restock? How do you guys feel about the new products, about first chapter? Do want to take a look at this mat real quick, this Disney 2024 convention play mat. We have a new listing for $350, and the most recent sale was $470 on November 11th. So not that long ago, this mat sold for $450 on TCG Player, and now someone can get it for less than $400 if you're interested. Pretty cool mat. You get these for like winning events at like specific convention events, which is kind of hard, kind of niche, right? And then the Cinderella Stouthearted mat from the DLC. These lowest verified listing is now $550 on TCG Player by Tournament City. They have 3 of them ready for you to go. The most recent sale was $680, and then $500 were some more recent sales, but that was all the way in October, and there hasn't been that many listings on TCG Player, so $550 is not too bad. I feel like I usually see these sell on eBay for around $500, and if you've been grinding the DLCs, this is some of the stuff you can win there. So I'm really excited to see what new stuff they're going to give us at the Continental Tournament. Really curious to see what these are going to look like, and if I can find any in person, because I'm down for some first chapter packs. I really want to know what you guys think though. Are these reprints? Are these restocks? Is this like a brand new product? Are we going to see these at just Target? Maybe we might see them at Walmart or Hot Topic or your local haberdashery or something. So let us know in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content, and join us every Monday and Friday for the Market Watch. And if you want more content, you can find it on the channel. We go over meta cards, deck lists, and all that Lorcana good stuff. So be sure to stay tuned to Lorcana Goons for more. Zach, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Just want to say thank you so much for supporting us, guys. If you're here still watching, I really appreciate every single one of you. And again, join our Discord if you're not already in there. Tons of conversations about these cards and tons of conversation about these tournaments going on. So make sure you join the Discord, subscribe, like, comment, and stay tuned to Lorcana Goons.
All right, we'll see you Goons next time.